speed, precision, power. These are all attributes that define Roger Federer, perhaps the world's best male tennis player. He has won more Grand Slams than any other male tennis player in history and is versatile on all courts. Whoa, wait. This channel is meant to help people choose their careers. Why are we talking about tennis? Welcome back. This is the next video in the Career Basics series, where I'm trying to give you information that I wish I would have had when I started my journey in choosing a career. And in this video, my purpose is to dispel a myth that I faced that brought me a lot of anxiety and fear, and I hope you don't have to deal with it like I did. And that myth is that when you pick a career, you have to stick with it for the next 30 to 40 years. And that for me was super scary. The idea that when I'm barely past being a teenager, I have to make a decision that I live with for decades, man, that made me crazy scared, and I didn't want to make a choice. So I did some research to find out, is that actually the case? Do you have to pick a career and stick with it in order to be successful? And I found out after doing some research that that is not the case. Not only do you not need to pick a career and stick with it in order to be successful, but very few people do that. And today, not only is change normal, but it can be a very good thing. Now, if you're wondering why at the beginning of this video I was talking about tennis, here's why. I listened to a podcast called The Next Big Idea, which is amazing, and if you need a cool podcast to listen to, go check it out. Now, in this podcast, it was contrasting Tiger Woods and Roger Federer. Now, I'm not an expert in tennis or in golf, but if you'd have asked me who are the best athletes in those two sports, I would have named Tiger Woods and Roger Federer. Now, Tiger Woods is what's considered a specialist. He started playing golf from the age of 2, thanks to his dad. His dad showed him how to hold the golf club, how to swing, and he's been playing golf ever since and has become crazy successful at it. And then on the other side of things, we have Roger Federer. He played a lot of different sports growing up, and he actually attributes a lot of his success in tennis thanks to playing different sports. He attributes his hand-eye coordination that he relies on in tennis thanks to playing badminton and basketball. He acknowledges that his footwork that he uses to set up amazing shots in tennis thanks to having played soccer. And having played a bunch of different sports made him a better athlete and gave him a lot deeper skills in being a tennis player, and he is considered the best male tennis player of all time. I love that example because I love playing sports, and it's discouraging to me to think, oh, I can't be a Tiger Woods because I didn't start playing a specific sport since I was 2 years old. But the idea that having a variety of skills and having dabbled in a lot of different sports can make you a better athlete. And I think the same is true for your career. Having a bunch of different jobs doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can be a great thing because it gives you a lot of different skills that can deepen your skill set throughout your career and make you more and more valuable. Quick disclaimer, there are specialists still. Tiger Woods was able to be a specialist thanks to his dad. Tiger Woods' dad showed him the ropes from a really young age and helped him develop his skills. And it turns out that he likes playing golf. If he didn't like playing golf, then he probably would have given it up. So he was pretty lucky. Now, if you have also been coached from a really young age to enjoy a career, perhaps thanks to parents or someone you know, I think you're lucky and you should run with it because that's an awesome benefit. It's something I didn't have. So in this video, I'm going to help share how to take advantage of change because that's what I know and I can only teach from experience. So now if change is normal, then the question becomes, how can you change so that it becomes beneficial to you and it doesn't hurt your career? So I'm going to give you my top 4 tips, and I'm going to call upon the help of my examples, Average Joe and Average Jane. Here we have Average Joe and Average Jane, and they're going to help me explain how you can change in your career and have it help you rather than hurt you. Now, Joe and Jane, they are educators. They work at a school, and the first thing they need to do to make sure that time is well spent is they need to learn from their work. In every job you have, there are skills that you can learn. Those skills you can take with you, and they can be beneficial in a different position or in a different job. So if Average Joe and Average Jane are educators, some of their skills could be seeing the big picture, working with people, organizing, There's a lot of things that they can learn from being a teacher that they can hold on to and that they can develop. Now, side note, if I had a job that did not teach me anything, I would probably leave it. I would go find a different job. Because to me, I want to be developing myself, and I want to be finding and growing skills that are going to make me a better person and a better employee. That's going to give me more value so that I can then brag about myself later on down the road. I did have a job when I was in high school where I worked at a video game store, and it was awesome at first, but after a while it just became a total waste of time, and I ended up hating it, which is surprising because they're video games, and I did play Smash Bros there. Average Joe and Average Jane know that they want to make a change. They want to find a different job because they feel like they've plateaued as a teacher and they aren't learning any further, and they want to test their skills as a different challenge. One tip that I found constantly as I was doing my research is the power of networking, and I know that to be true. That's a word that I've heard a bunch and you hear it tossed around all the time. Essentially, networking is utilizing your contacts. Utilizing people that you know around you, that you have a relationship with, to help you in your change. There's another video that I have where I'll focus on this topic more. So if that's something that you want to learn more about, keep an eye out for that video. So for Average Joe and Average Jane, they need to identify what kind of job they want to go for. And let's say that they want to go for a corporate job that relies more on sales, where they can make a lot more money. So then they can identify who they currently know or what resources they have to connect themselves to people who work in that environment. Networking is an excellent way to get your foot in the door for a new job. When I went to work at the bank, I actually interviewed and did the group interview and didn't hear back from him for a while. And I went in to meet the branch manager, and it turns out he knew my brother. It was kind of funny because on the day that I heard from him that I had the job, the interview department contacted me and told me that I wasn't going to go any further in the interview process. So networking has worked for me in the past, and it can be very beneficial. Average Joe and Average Jane have identified what job they want to get. They know the people who they need to align with in order to get their foot in the door. The next thing they should do is they should look to getting additional schooling or training. Now, any schooling or training that you can get for a career or a job is going to be amazingly beneficial. For one thing, it's going to make you better at your work. You're going to be able to do a better job, and that's going to help you promote faster. And secondly, it's going to give you more confidence both to get the job and once you're at the job. And confidence is key. So Average Joe and Average Jane can go and look for classes that will help prepare them for the job that they're seeking. They can do additional research, they can find information online, and all the while, they don't get frustrated in this process because they know that they have to spend time for any change that's going to be worthwhile. There are no shortcuts to success. So when it comes time to make a change, understand that you're going to have to invest time. It's not going to be a fast process. Average Joe and Average Jane have now revamped their resumes, included their training that they've received, and the next big step that they have to keep in mind is the idea of connecting the dots. Now, for a potential employer, seeing you coming from a different industry, such as a teacher, where you want to switch over to a sales job, that could look weird. They might scratch their head and go, what the heck? That's not a normal transition. So for you, you need to connect the dots and show them why you're making that change from one job to the next and why that is going to be valuable for them. So for Average Joe and Average Jane, they can highlight their skills that they've gained, and they made sure they were learning at their previous job and developing skills. And they can highlight their skills such as seeing the big picture, being able to break down complex tasks, and helping others learn. And they can take that and show that to their new employer and say, hey, this could be extremely valuable in your training department. So I could be amazingly helpful in training others, training your sales force, training new managers, or training new recruits. And that new employer can see, wow, there is a lot of benefit in those skills, and can see how they're valuable to them. So make sure to connect the dots for them so they can see what you're bringing to the table so they don't miss out on you as an amazing opportunity. And when done correctly, Average Joe and Average Jane have acquired their new job. They get to continue growing in their careers, developing additional skills, becoming increasingly valuable to their employers, and all the while finding satisfaction in their journey. In summary, make sure that from every job you have, you are learning. Don't be afraid of getting additional schooling along the way. Create a narrative of your journey, utilize the power of networking, and keep in mind that this is your career path, not your career destination. You can't be expected to know exactly what is going to be the perfect career match for you, and it might take some time. Allow yourself to go through those changes along the way, learn about yourself, and you are much more likely to find a career or a job that is satisfying to you. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, hit the like button and consider sharing it with someone that you think could benefit. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and follow along with the latest videos on hobbies, opportunities, work, and how to find the right career fit for you.